Hi, I'm Mary and I hook books. I crochet things inspired by books, mostly science fiction, a little bit of urban fantasy, horror, mystery thriller, and some non-fiction rolled in. This is going to be another, I think, very successful overall reading vlog, and I'm happy to have you join me. I have had all three of my apps going at the same time, and I was listening to A Monk's Guide to a Clean House in Mind, and I liked some of the mindfulness stuff in this, but some of it just, I'm like, you don't know, because, like, I can't do my laundry every day. I don't have a laundry machine, and I'm not gonna hang it out to dry because my apartment complex doesn't allow me to hang things to dry outside. So little things like that, I was like, this is not as useful. If you're looking for something like this, I would definitely recommend How to Keep House While Drowning. I loved that so much and will never stop recommending it. I love it, love it, love it. Very practical, very gentle, and privilege aware. I've been listening to We Are Where the Nightmares Go. I like so much about this compilation, this collection of short stories. It's very experimental. He's doing some really interesting things. The ones that kind of stick out to me are the eponymous We Are Where the Nightmares Go. Like, that's creepy. Like, the whole time. Oh my gosh. There was one that was just like a little too gory for me, and I almost skipped it, but it was almost over, and I was like, oh, that is an amazing ending to this short story. And there's one with zombie dinosaurs, so like, this is a very cool collection. And they go kind of the length of the gore scale. There were some that were a little pushing my boundaries, but most of them were comfortably in my, like, okay, I can handle that, it's okay. I feel so bad. I was going to give this like a 4 or 4.5, but I didn't finish one of the stories in the middle because I think I was just bored. Hi, Money Bunny. Hi, Money Bunny. Oh, no, you're gonna show your face. Okay. Ugh. And I didn't finish the last story, which was like the last 25% of the book. So, what I liked about this, but the last story was in a bigger universe, and I don't know, it just didn't catch me, and I wasn't invested in the bigger universe that it's part of, so I think I landed on like a 3.5. Like, what I liked about this, I really liked. And I would definitely recommend this, especially I got it for free from the library. So check it out. Math in drag. I did not know this particular drag queen. I am a casual fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, but this was a lot of fun. I learned so much, not as much about the math, some of that I know is not gonna stick, but like about Filipino culture, about drag race, queer history. Like, this was so cool. There were times where she was explaining concepts, and I really felt like Nikki from Obsession, and I was just like, no, 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 don't do that, no, 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 no. Like, non-Euclidean geometry, like, no, 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 parallel lines do not touch, no, 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 don't do that. But overall, I thought this was so fun and presented in a very quirky and accessible way. So I love this. Definitely 5 stars. To be over 100 degrees every day this week. And yet, people are putting out pumpkins, and the Halloween candy is out, and the kids are back in school, and I don't know what what is going on. So I cannot turn off my air conditioner, but I feel like between the microphone and then that like voice isolation on my editing software, I feel like it's been okay when I've done that recently. I've turned off the fans, but like it's so hot. I can't not. And neither can my cats, but we have talked about this already, and they are in a very playful mood today, which is great, but it is a little chaotic in here. Anyway, everyone in this bank is a thief. I really enjoy Ernest Cunningham. I love meta-textual elements. Like, I love when people break the fourth wall. So, like, a writer writing about the rules of writing, like, that is so up my alley. It's not as, like, as prominent as in the first few books. And this is the fourth, but he even says Christmas specials don't count. So I think that should be like book 2.5. So I think this should be the third. Anyway, this is a heist and a mystery. We are going to see about getting a loan to develop our detective agency, which interesting career path from like mystery writer to like professional detective. And someone tries to rob the bank. And everybody in this bank has done something crazy. And we get to find out what it is over a long period. I mean, not a long period, but over the period of the book. And this definitely went in some interesting directions. But he does say, like, I can't keep things from you because that wouldn't be fair play. So everything is inevitable eventually. There are some stretches, like those, like, okay, that's theoretically possible. Likely? No. But theoretically, it could happen. So we're just gonna go with it. I really did enjoy this. Although there was like one thing that I was like, Ernest, why? But then the second half of the book hinged on that really dumb decision that he made. So that I was like, ugh. But overall, I really enjoyed this. If you like metatextual stuff, you will probably like it as well. And I like the play on the Golden Age detective mysteries. I'm not as big into it. Sometimes it feels a little bit of its time, but I like when things take those tropes and subvert them a little bit. Like one of the Franny Fisher mysteries I read recently did that as well, and I really enjoy that. So, overall, if you're a fan of this series, I think this is a fun heist with a lot of just realistic but crazy reveals. I've also been on a DNFing spree. It's hard because I had, I think, 4 or 5 five-star books last month, and I just keep picking things up that I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Although some of them, like Dead But Dreaming of Electric Sheep, I wanted this to be so good. I love this premise. I love the play on the Philip K. Dick. Like, but it's so funny as a sci-fi fantasy reader what will take you out of the story as just too far into the suspension of disbelief. And the idea that this gajillion-dollar company would send their bazillion-dollar experiment on a commercial airline flight with only like a 23-year-old dropout gamer as like the controller to trust it to get it there. I couldn't get over it. I could not get over that premise. I just couldn't. So yeah, I put that one down. And I Love You, Don't Die. I have heard so much good stuff about this, but like the character is depressing. It's set in New York, which is also depressing in my experience. And I was like, I am not enjoying this. And Make Me Better, this everyone was talking about, and I think I could have enjoyed, like, later, if I had gotten through. Maybe, I don't know. The premise sounds so cool. Like, I love exposing the wellness industry as the, like, culty, like, capitalist hellscape that it is. But this character was just too depressing, and I did not want to spend that much time in the head of someone that was that depressed. I also picked up Widow's Point, which is a very cool premise, haunted lighthouse, and I was really digging the found footage aspect. I think that is a really cool way to like keep people guessing a little bit. And like we have an influencer, well, no, he wasn't an influencer, he was an author, but he was narrating as if he were an influencer doing like a video. And then in the second part of the book, we did get influencers doing a YouTube video. But I think this, it shot too early. It played too many of its cards too blatantly, too early, and I prefer a little bit more of like, is it really like but it threw too much out too soon, and it lost a lot of the suspense that'll keep me hanging on through a whole book. So I put that one down. And then we had to go for a comfort read. Firefly. I didn't see this when it was on the air, but when it hit streaming, I did fall in love. There are some things that are a little problematic looking back, but there were some things that were ahead of its time. So we love it for what it is. And for those of us who still miss this universe, there are the novels and the graphic novels. The Ghost Machine. This was interesting. It was a very interesting way of approaching the storytelling. Mal has a bad feeling, and he's like, no, we're not doing this job. Something's wrong. We're not. But Jane is like, but what if we did? And maybe, like, I'll just do it, and then, like, I'll get all the money. So, sorry, Munster is playing right next to the tripod. And Jane sneaks the ghost machine that he doesn't know what it is, but he sneaks it onto Serenity, their spaceship, and it emits a hum. We don't find out until a little bit later what this does, but it does get into everybody's heads, and I thought this was very interesting what each person really longs for and what they're really afraid of and how they view each other deep down. And of course, I love when River gets to do her thing. So overall, I really enjoyed this. It had some interesting storytelling elements to it, and the characters we love. Although, without Nathan Fillion to add that charm, Mal does come across a little bit more of an a-hole. So, yeah, but I still love the rest of them. Inara and Book are not primary features. After the last book, I guess they went off to do their own thing for a little while. They're mentioned here and there, but, like, I do miss them. Like, Inara was amazing, and Book is amazing, and really all these characters are amazing, and I love them. Anyway, fabulous. If you miss Firefly, like many of us do, pick up these novels. And this one especially was very interesting and out of the norm, in a different groove, in a cool way. Thank you for joining me this week. My class had a brainstorming session of some self-care activities, so do one of these this week. Take care of yourself. Do something good for you. Do the YouTubies, and as always, shoulders back, head up, and breathe.